Good afternoon and welcome to Pan-African News on Pan-African Television with me, Mortia Anane. We're streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. Now let's move on to our top stories making headlines. Tema High Court to consider bail application of embattled Baka Vomewo. Also, Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu has been justifying the delay in the 2022 SONA. There's and many other stories, including sports, business, international, from our international partners, People's Dispatch. We'll be back shortly. Now to our very first story. The Cuban envoy to Ghana, Anane Garcia, has reaffirmed her country's commitment to deepening bilateral relations with the former British colony. In a conversation on Pan-African Television Talk Time, she further added that her nation is also working feverishly to augment Ghana's medical sector with the expansion of doctors brought in yearly.
And I felt that they are our brothers. That's why, brothers and sisters, because I saw some ladies. That's why I feel very comfortable here. And I hope we can achieve a lot of things in my time here in Ghana. I hope to be around 4 years, and I'm sure we can do a lot of things together. The idea to see all the prominent figures is first to learn from them. Second, them to tell that I'm here to work and to help them because Cuba wants to do it. And the third is to tell them that we are the same. We are developing countries and we need from them the help and they need from us.
How do you see Ghana-Cuba relations going forward in terms of concrete projects? As you're talking about the building of a plant somewhere in Tamale, are there other prospects?
Yes.
For example, is there scope for expanding the medical brigade and so on? How do you see Ghana-Cuba relations going forward?
We are working to expand, to increase the number of doctors here. But also, we are working in different areas, but the most important for me is the biotechnology. As I told you, in Cuba, it was very important to talk about the health, but the health not only taking care of your health, is also to develop our medicines, to develop our vaccines, and then Cuba is working to bring here the products, the biotechnologies product we have. For example, Everprot P. Everprot P is a wonderful medicine for the diabetes. And then we are trying to bring Everprot P here to Ghana. And I'm sure we can do it. And I'm sure we can do it, some things also in sports, because we have very good trainers. And I had a meeting with the Minister of Youth and Sports, and then we are working on it.
I'm told that Cuba has managed to develop some medicine for cancer. I know you're not a doctor, but I'm told that Cuba has developed some medicine for cancer. Is that true?
Yes, yes. The name is Vidatox. We are working on it, but it's not from the biotechnology, it's a Labiofan product.
Is it possible that one day Ghana would have access to this medication?
Yes, actually there is a lady here that has the license, and then we are working to expand this possibility.
So that was His Excellency Anane Garcia, Cuban ambassador to Ghana, renews commitment to boosting Ghana's health sector. Away from that, the Tema High Court is expected to consider the bail application of hashtag Fix the Country movement-led convener Oliver Baka Vomewo today, March 14th. He is facing charges of treason in relation to some comment he made on Facebook last month, saying that he will oversee a coup himself if the army does not rise up against the electronic transfer levy bill. After a picture of a cake inscribed with the e-levy was circulating online as a birthday present to the majority leader, Osei Mensa Bonsu.
The application was initially set to be heard last Thursday, March 10th. However, a late opposition to the bill application by the Attorney General's office made it impossible for his lawyers to bail him. The AG's office in its opposition alleged that A. Oliver did not have a fixed place of abode, and B. was not cooperating with the police in its investigations. These, the office said, were serious allegations that the convener's legal representatives needed to respond to. However, the lawyers for the Cambridge University PhD student, in their response, refuted these allegations. On the issue of the defendant not having a fixed abode, Mr. Vomawo's lawyer argued that documents show that he had a fixed place of residence. The solicitors further stated that Oliver had taken the police to the third place, where intrusive searches were carried out. On the allegation that the activist had refused to cooperate with the police in assessing the content of his phone, his lawyer cited an attached correspondence showing his request for an agreed date and time for the exercise. Meanwhile, supporters of the outspoken activist alleged that the police have had his phone since his arrest. On February 10th, Mr. Vomawo took to social media to threaten a coup following pictures emerging from the majority leader's 65th birthday bash showing an e-levy design cake. He posted, "If this e-levy passes after this cake bullshit, I will do the coup myself, unless army." In a subsequent post, he explained the context in which he used the word coup. He was arrested on February 11th after arriving from the United Kingdom and was subsequently charged with treason felony and put before the court.
Well, let's shift our attention to some political related stories. Majority Leader Lawrence Osei Mensa Bonsu says the president is technically within the time frame for the presentation of the State of the Nation address as required by law. He was debunking the assertion created by the minority in Parliament that the president was indulging in an act of dereliction of his constitutional duty, directing him to present to Parliament a State of Nation address at the beginning of every session of the House.
Member understand that I don't even know what he's referring to, that the president is obligated to come to this house to deliver a State of the Nation address. That is incorrect. The president comes to this house to deliver a message on the state of the nation. So please, relate to the appropriate phraseology of the Constitution before you ask your question. Mr. Speaker, he says that the president wants to change the date, and that if the president wants to change the date, he should go to the Supreme Court. I don't know what he's talking about. The Speaker, the Constitution provides that the president shall, at the beginning of each session of Parliament, and before a dissolution of Parliament, deliver to Parliament a message on the state of the nation. The Speaker, Parliament at each session, and the session of Parliament is the meetings that we have in a year. And ordinarily we have 3 meetings. The first meeting is the beginning of the session. The Speaker, so we are still within the beginning of the session. People should address their mind to this. So please, if you want to litigate the matter, you should come with facts. We are still within the beginning of the session. So the president will come when he will come, in this session, in this meeting, at the beginning of the session. At the beginning of the session, which includes the entirety of the first meeting. So, Mr. Speaker, when members ask questions, they should come with proper questions. That's the question, that's the response that I'm giving you. The first meeting is the beginning of the session. It's the beginning of the session. The president is obligated to deliver at the beginning of the session.
Away from that, Member of Parliament for Garu Albert Akuka Alazuga says the information being given to Parliament by the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Anthony Akoto, in relation to the smuggling of fertilizers in the constituency is false. He maintains that the said criminal act is not being perpetrated by his constituents, hence the need for an unqualified apology and retraction of the statement by the minister.
Let me also put on record that the minister's response, which listed Garu district as one of the 22 border districts or municipalities that a policy has affected it because some smuggling is taking place. I want to put on record that Garu is not a border town. And so, first, the minister got it wrong, totally wrong. Garu is not a border town. He might be referring to a different town. And then from the minister's own presentation, he indicated that the suppliers of the fertilizers are not necessarily from Garu. It means that they were picked across the country, which means that they may be coming from different areas in Ghana. So if there's some smuggling taking place, why can't the minister hold the suppliers responsible? And then he's accusing the people of Garu. So I take very strong exception of the minister's allegation of the people of Garu being smugglers. And I call for an unqualified apology from the minister. I'm taking it back to my constituents, and I will not take it very kindly with him if the minister doesn't apologize. Because smuggling happens along the border towns. And you can ask anybody, you can go check from the map of Ghana. Garu is not in a border, it's not a border town. In fact, the boundaries of Garu doesn't border doesn't border any of the foreign countries, whether Burkina or Togo or whatever. And so I am not happy with the minister because of that. Secondly, the paltry, quantity of supplies of fertilizer to the farmers in Garu is very worrying, because just 4,160 farmers receiving the subsidized fertilizer against 63,423 farmers who are registered. That's even registered farmers. It means that there could be many other farmers who are not registered. I got these records from the district office of the agric officer, which means that 63,423 farmers have been registered as farmers in the district. They registered with the district assembly or the agric office, expecting fertilizers from them. And so I'm just looking at the food security situation in the Garu. No wonder that last year people took advantage of the fact that, when the ministry or the government, the MPP government, said they were going to subsidize fertilizer, people increased their acreage of farms, especially maize, expecting to buy fertilizer. Some went and took loans from the bank that they were going to buy, increasing their farms, only to be disappointed by the government. The fertilizers didn't come, And even that, what came, per the minister's answer, some were smuggled. And the smuggling couldn't have been people from Garu, because it means that it is the suppliers, those who are supplying the fertilizer to the area. So the minister should take some of these things very seriously, that if he really wants to get the people of Ghana to be self-sufficient in terms of food and to create the jobs that the policy is seeking to do, they must monitor these programs and see how effectively they are performing. So many people, the farms grew halfway, no fertilizers, to fertilize the crops, and then the yield was very bad. As I speak to you, the Besfa Rural Bank, which is the main bank facility within the Garu encatchment area, farmers are heavily indebted because they took loans from the facility and with the intention of increasing their farms, only to be disappointed because the planting for food fertilizers never came. Minister, only 35,000 mini bags, let me use that word. That is a 25 kilogram. The 25 kilogram bags is what was supplied. And as I was saying, as any agric officer, you need a minimum of 4 bags of maxi fertilizer. That's a 50 kilogram fertilizer to be able to fertilize an acre effectively. So you are only supplying 35,000, which means that 17,000 bags of the 50 kilograms of fertilizer were supplied to the people of Garu. How many acres can that, fertilize? That is the reason why we are having a shortage of maize already in the country.
You're watching Pan-African News on Pan-African Television with me, Mordia Anane. Let's go for a quick breather. I'll be back shortly with more news.
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCAP, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property Management, Executive Certificate in Data and Records Keeping, Executive Certificate in Monitoring and Evaluation, Executive Certificate in Logistics and Transport Management, Executive Certificate in CCTV Monitoring and Installation. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority. For registration and enquiries, please call 0244 405047, 0242 135523. We have our branches in Accra, Tamale, Kumasi, and Wa. Saturdays and weekdays sessions are available. Admission is still in progress. Enroll now. Join the African professionals. AFCAP, where capacity building is our priority.
Welcome back from that break. It's still Pan-African News on Pan-African Television with me, Mordia Anane. We're streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. Traders at the Malamata market who sell foodstuffs either travel to Techiman, Guaso, and Yenase and other parts of the country to buy them or rely on intermediaries for supply. My colleague Kia Bebio engaged some who shared their frustration and grievances amid a downturn in business activities.
Market women are a group of people who work tirelessly on daily basis to feed themselves and their families. Some of them sit under the scorching sun to display and market their goods, and some even travel to other parts of the country just to get their goods. Now, I am here at the Malamata market in Accra, and I will be interacting with some of these women to know the risks involved concerning their trading activities.
Ya fanya manufa akwati agnase. Ni abeton. kwan no so challenges no enye ekose na bese enti you know aboboya saboboya no kofa obre aje se mema ni di akire no opia onti abode niam ni eja bebre agura wa wantumi afa ma ebuwa na pro na sefa.
Okay, now omutu transport fares
akayen pa sida be yebeja bakura no refe no first no la first say no wuchin e na ye payment mu eti e brete adwuma no ye ya ye nya fa so bi ewu eti e be jai no kuma de mala tafo bodie kwadu meken kontomwe ya bedru bibia e be nya na fo mu ya be nyina ye de ba eti no abai na ko yesaba aba ni enti se ma o ya na de hwe ma school e na o ba na fa na ko school akola chese bunya ni je bia ofie o enti se ma ma hwe ma ma boa ya akola ni na betina se ofie a chese o nya juba bia yo en so ko school kakra e be boa no e be boa ofie ofise na no sabamba akokura o ni pa ba ko e ya ba adwuma bibisia aban betumi aboa amefie wa banije
fuwa ni ti gana ye di ni ye hu so ba go kwa e kan kwa na ye bo eti ye sta ban so o me ye kwa ne mai na fuwa ni so no mo be no mo be no mo na ya ni e go so na o mo e fo me mai fuwa ni ti eja ye di
de ja ye nya he eti ye be bo bo wo ye ho adwene ye hu nti o ye so me ye kwa ne mai enya samara ta fu nya adwene enu eba
baidu bari samana wa ye dem pa ye ntumi nto ebisa kuafo no koto wo a wo so wo bre nyama nyina bo aye den enti ye sra ban se nyama na ne bo aye den nyama wo de ye kuadwuma ni nyina o memra fam kakra ma ona ye nso ye ye wa na ye nso wo de ba ye tumi aton na wo afifie no so beto a wo nso aye ya ma wo se ye koto a wo se petrol ato so me ha ka se wo se driver fo no ne abande mama wo no wo fa sa price ni adwuma nti nka nko anka ban ka san kire wo wo fo ka akora akodu ha esanse wo je sare nti wo se me nko straight yeresi wa kwan sa na otu yaso tu yasika na wo de ko sa nti mi ha ka se pa anso ya me na ban ne draft no enka sa pa na na ye de ama won se long journey ha e 50 Ghana e 50 Ghana e 40 Ghana e 40 Ghana we de be fo no yesi wa na ya fa short me ha wa nan
Mondays no say no cars ne ba mo je mete ya no kokwan so no mo de ba nti em ba Monday Tuesday sa akosi Saturday car ni so ba e do etimi sei esi kwam na body ni nyina bre e bre sa na je sei car ni fa ka fu e ba sa na ko bia puspa o bi ma ne en tebu an and I say, I want to say, I'm not going to it's a security, but it's a bad grip, my kind. Anyhow, now I'm not green is another brace and a dear. We will not a brain. I can pass the for say, no, I don't know, but I didn't be me wanting to go on higher thing. And yes, and Tamino Swan, a baby, Tamino Swan, a young ebeko se de ntosi ba na ekọ we ba na ekọ nti when season na du ye ko Easter se ne boy den so je se ne boy den te be fu onu so no na fi September so na foforo na eba so ba sa na afei aba bebu kakra ma etonu sa na efra atofo mpo na wonya e ma meto nti dwane de ye awade nsam na wo ba na mi adom ye beto bia ma na so onye be ade akofi
ye de bode na eba nso ye kwa na nye bogu gwa so na nye afei nsuro fe ne boa ye te petrol tiama bode ne de bakura ye nyamfa so bia ye sra ban se petrol woni wo bibi mai afei bogu dwa so kwan no so enye bibetimi yes.
From the Malamata market, I am Ekuababu reporting for Pan African News.
Up next is the business news. We'll be back shortly.
Hello? Okay, wait a minute. Why? My wife comes and send a message you. Your office is almost free. Hello? I didn't know. What's happened?
It's a chunk who be a quiet say what? I dare say,
Miss I found a friend. I'm so young. My wife is not testing messages here. And the office also. I'm trying to tell you, man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy man, and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it name? Family Dwelling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Naso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111, and that's 0244 144 822.
Miampa and you want to do me see? Me want to, you be here. Family Dwelling, I want Family Dwelling.
What fast is your last set?
Me out with that.
A survey conducted by the Center for Economics, Finance and Inequality Studies has revealed that 81.6% of the Ghanaians want the electronic transaction levy cancelled or withdrawn. However, 36.4% did not have any knowledge about the e-levy. The research was carried out by Dr. Benjamin Amoah of the University of Ghana Business School and Professor Anthony Amoah of the University of Environment and Sustainable Development.
The report relied on Google online forms as key instrument for data collection. All respondents were automatically restricted to only one entry. Furthermore, 13.5% of the respondents held the view that the e-levy should be passed into law and implemented. However, a small population of 4.9% were of the view that it should be passed after the year 2022. Also, 1,679 of the respondents out of the 2,650 were aware of the e-levy. This implies that much education needs to be done to increase public knowledge and understanding of the e-levy. The survey also assessed the nation's fiscal position concerns. It came out that 64.6% of Ghanaians were categorical that Ghana needs more money. Those who held a contrary view made up of 25.9%, with a position that there is no need to increase government revenue. On the country's rising debt, it came out that 91.8% of the respondents are concerned about the increasing debt of the country. With regard to substitutes for the e-levy, about 54.3% of the respondents want a cut in unproductive government expenditure. A further 37.7% also want managers of the economy to block corrupt channels that are leakages in the revenue bucket. The other sources of revenue preferable to the e-levy include enforcement of property rate with a score of 3.9%. Tax on treasury investment income is preferred by 1.1% of the respondent.
Away from that, price of iron rod on the market starting from quarter to 32 millimeter, 40 feet high tensile has jumped by 34% in less than 24 hours. Additionally, the cost of building materials has also shot up over the period.
A 12mm standard high tensile rod per ton, which cost 3,950 Ghana cedis, increased to averagely 5,400 Ghana cedis on the market. Checks then revealed a price per unit and for a ton of iron rod had gone up unexpectedly. On March 11, 2022, the material, which cost 6,200 Ghana cedis per ton, shot up to 8,500 Ghana cedis in 24 hours. Our checks revealed that prices of almost all building materials in Ghana, namely wood, nails, tiles, stones and sand, have all gone very distably high over the period.
Let's go for a quick break. We'll be back shortly with the sport news.
Trasacco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasacco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community of Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasacco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Welcome back from that. March week 20 of the ongoing Ghana Premier League has ended the various stadia with some intriguing results. Kumasi Asante Kotoko extended their lead at the top of the Ghana Premier League following an impressive 5-0 doubling of BB